Story time. So, I'm gonna tell you a little story about myself when I was younger. Um, when I was young, I lived on the reservation, of course, and during that time, there wasn't really parental guidance going on, of course. So, I would go out, I'd be walking around late at night. The casino is about maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles from my mom's house. So I would, being a teenager, I would go and walk around. I'd start walking around midnight. Don't ask me why. I was just bored and stupid at the time. So I'd go walk down to the casino, and of course I was a teenager, so I couldn't stay down there that long. They had an arcade at the time. I remember they had an arcade, and a lot of the teenagers and kids, they would go to the casino with their parents, grandparents, and wait for them to get done gambling and whatnot, what have you. And so they'd wait for them. So my mom would gamble sometimes. I'd walk through the casino, ask her for money, get free drinks, and I'd stay down there for about an hour, 2 hours, and then I'd make my way back up the road. So there was the main road you can go up on that had a sidewalk, and then there was a back road, like I'd say halfway, maybe a third way up the road, the main road. There's a dirt road that you can go through. And so I would walk through the dirt road. It didn't have no street lights or nothing. It's a dirt road on the reservation, okay? There's no lights. So my crazy buns would walk up this road, and through the night I'd have my earphones on. I'd be jamming out, don't give a damn. But one night I decided to walk all the way straight up on the sidewalk after I was done. So I'm walking, listening to my music. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And then I passed the fire station, and at the fire station I have to make a right. So I'm walking up the road, and I'm walking real good, listening to my music. Okay. And next thing you know, I can hear these footsteps. It sounded like horse feet. And I'm like, or hooves, like horse feet, against the concrete. And it's like, and I'm like, it was so loud because my music was loud. I'm like jamming. I'm like, okay, what? And then I hear it, so I'm like, take off my earphones, and I'm like, the hell was that? And I look back, nothing. There's nothing. So I'm like, I must be tripping. There must be a glitch in my earphones. So I put my earphones back on, and I'm walking, and I'm grooving, and I hear it again. And I'm like, take off my earphones. And I look to the side, and I look to the back, and I look around. Nobody. There's nothing. No horse, no person, nothing. So I'm like, what the hell? But I noticed that it sounded a lot closer that second time. So I'm like, this is tripping me out. So I put on my earphones again, and I'm walking, and I'm trying to just drown out the noise. And this time I hear it closer, like super duper close, like it was right behind me. And I stop, and right when I stop, that sound stops, and I'm like, earphones off, and I'm like scared. My hair was to the side like so, and it's a summer night, so I don't have a jacket on, and I could just feel something breathing on my neck. And I'm like, whoa, what the hell? I got goosebumps. I don't know why, but for some reason my crazy ass decided to turn around. So I turn around, and there were these red eyes looking straight into mine. I poop you not, I got scared. I took one It took me about 2 seconds to realize what the hell I was looking at, and I booked it. I booked it home. I was like maybe half a mile away from home, and I'm like running and running. And I'm like, the hell with this shit. My earphones fall down. I'm trying to grab them while I'm trying to run. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these Rez dogs are fucking barking at me. I didn't give a dang. I didn't care. I was like, Rez dogs bite me. As long as there's something else around me, this thing may not come after me. Bite that sucker behind me. Bite him. And I'm like running and running. And I made it all the way home. I opened the door. I slam it shut. I lock it. I go to the back door and I lock the door. And I'm like, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? What the hell? And my mom was like, what's that noise? And I'm like, ah! I got scared. So I told my mom about it. And she's like, that's why you don't be running around at night. That's why you don't be walking around at night. You're going to probably bring something into the house. And I'm like, holy crap, I didn't wash my feet off. I didn't brush my feet off before I came in. So I was scared. I was like, oh my gosh. So my mama, yeah, she was like telling me all these different things, like what she's like, that's why I remember my mom and my aunties used to always tell me, that's why you don't walk around at night, because you could bring something home, something like that's gonna happen to you. And I never believed them, and nothing ever happened to me before until that night. And after that night, I had never walked around at night on that reservation ever again. True story. It was traumatic. You have a good day now. Peace.